afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Brain Booster this week. Today we'll be reviewing utilizing queries inside of SAP Business One and creating ourselves a simple report. My name is Shannon, and I'm a CSM, or a Customer Success Manager here at VistaVu Solutions. So as you can see in my background here, this is just my standard SAP Business One version 10 system. It has all of my main modules here and also my standard SAP Business One toolbars here. The first thing that we're going to do in order to create and make sure that we have the correct information for our reports is go into our View option in our SAP menu, and we want to see our system information. The system information is what's going to allow you to hover over any field inside of V1, and it will show you the table that's associated with that information. Those tables are what we're going to use to create our simple report today. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at sales orders for a specific date range inside of SAP Business One. So our first thing to do, since now we've turned on our system information, is to open up one of our sales orders. We want to be able to see the information related to the tables inside of B1 so we know what table to use in our query. I'm going to simply use my back button here to open up one of my newly created sales orders. And I'm going to hover over some of the standard information inside this order. When I start hovering over information, you'll see at the bottom of our screen, it says that our customer code here is related to our ORDR table. That's your customer information table inside of Business One. Now, if we go down to our line item here and hover over our item, we'll see that our item is related to our RDR1 table inside of SAP Business One. So this information is the information that we need to create our query. I'm going to simply minimize my sales order. That way, just in case we forget which table we need, we can easily pop open our sales order. Now that we've minimized that sales order, we're going to take a look at our Tools menu. Inside your Tools menu here, you'll have an option for queries. If for any reason you don't see this option or it appears to be grayed out, that's simply because your user doesn't have access yet to utilize the queries. That is not a big deal, and you can reach out directly to your SAP Business One partner or someone on your administration team that can update that authorization for you so that you'll have access to create, use, and open already created queries in your system. Utilizing your queries, you have a few options here. Using your query manager allows you to see and open queries that have already been created and saved to the system. It also allows you to save a newly created query to the system so that you, as well as other users, have access to run that query anytime that's needed. Your query generator is what we're going to be using today, and that's going to allow us to actually create that query before saving it to our query manager. Your query wizard also allows you to create queries, except for that option is for a little bit more of an advanced user. So if after today's Brain Booster you feel like taking a chance and creating another query, feel free to utilize your query wizard there. So let's open up our query generator. This screen is going to open up, allowing us to select the table that we want to add to our query, which for us today is based upon our sales orders. And then it's going to allow us to select various components within those sales orders and that table, including additional tables, to create our query. Your cursor automatically defaults to this box here. This is where you enter in your table information. You can also feel free to click Tab, and it will allow you to see all of the available tables to create a new query. So if you're not sure which table to use and you don't want to go in and look at your system information, you can simply run through this list or use the Find option to look for a few tables in order to query your table. You can also feel free to click Tab, and it will allow you to. This will allow you to search for tables if you don't have the time or don't feel the need to look up your documents to see your system information. So now on to our next step. We know from our previous review that we're looking for the sales order table. That table is ORDR. Once we've looked up ORDR, we see all of the available options to query our table. we want to know our sales order number, our customer, as well as our customer's number, and we want to see the date for our sales orders. So first things first, I'm going to select my document number so that we see our sales order number. Then I'm going to scroll down my list and find my customer code, as well as my customer name. And I want to find the date of my invoice. So I'm going to just follow down, start looking at all of my available options. Oh, and we went right past it. I want to be able to see our due date. So now that's the information that we want to see from our sales order, but we'd also like to see the items assigned to our sales order. From our previous review, that's going to be on the RDR1 table. So I'm simply going to go back to my table find, type in RDR1, and bring up our RDR1 table. Now, if you ever need to go back and forth between the tables that you're querying, all you have to do is click on the tables in your sidebar here. So now, in my RDR1 option, I want to take a look at the items within our documents. So I want to see my item number, but also my item description. Now that we have all of the information that we want, we're simply going to click Execute on the bottom left of your screen, and this is going to run your query. If there happens to be an issue with your query, you'll see a standard SAP red bar error message in your toolbar right here. However, if all goes according to plan, and because we're using our query generator, chances are we're choosing the correct information to be queried, we should see a green message, which means operation successful. Once we execute, our query will come up, and we see all of our information here in our standard query screen. This screen allows you to sort your columns by simply double-clicking. You can also, if you'd like to make an update to your query or break down the components of your query, you can hit your Edit option here, which is the tiny pencil in the top preview of your screen. And this allows you to select and or break down your query if you just want to see what the components are of a query. This is very helpful if you're utilizing someone else's query. Maybe you want to make that query great for just you and your needs. Then you can take their query, modify it to what you need, and save it as your own query to utilize for yourself. You can also break down the query so you can learn a little bit more about the tables being used by simply being able to edit that information. It's much easier to see all the information. Now, once you've run your report, it will not necessarily give you a report that you can format, for example. However, if you're using Excel as an integration to your SAP Business One system, you can simply select the MS Excel option here, and that will allow you to automatically export this report to an Excel file and save it to your desktop. You can then distribute it throughout the company, or simply format it to exactly what you need, or maybe each salesperson needs a copy of the report, or you need a subject and categorize it by date. You can do all of that utilizing the export. However, standard SAP will also allow you to send out this query via your SAP messages and alerts to certain people within your company if you'd like as well. If you need any information on integrations with Excel, please reach out to your SAP partner or us here at VistaVu Solutions, and we can answer those questions for you. And if you need help setting up your SAP Business One mailer or your systems and alerts window so that you can utilize that within your intercompany exchanges, please reach out to us or your partner as well. So now, once you've created your query, it's showing the information that you need. You can also drill in anywhere you see a golden arrow here. That's your standard SAP gold arrow, which means you can drill into your customer, your item, or your document directly from your query. Now that we know our query is correct, we want to save this in the system so that we and our teammates can run this query as needed. We're simply going to click our Save As option on the bottom of your screen, which allows us to save a new query, whether it's our query or a change we made to an existing query. If we wanted to change something in an existing query and save it company-wide, you would utilize the Save option here. So click Save As. You would choose the category in which your query will be within, and then name your query. So we'll name our query for now sales orders by date. And our query category, I'm going to put it in our general category for now. That way it's accessible by everyone that has access to the general category of queries via your SAP standard authorizations. If you don't, for some reason, have access to this screen when you try to save your query, or when you try to enter a new query, as in going in and actually opening up a new query, please contact one of your administrators, as each query category will need authorizations given to you as a user to make sure that you can access them. Now we click Save. Now our query can be run directly from your query manager anytime you need it. Oh, I'm simply clearing out of my query generator there. I'm going to go back into my SAP Business One toolbar, going to look for my queries and my query manager. This is going to automatically open up your query manager here, where you can go into your general option, and then we'll be able to find our new query. You can move these queries anytime you want, and like I said, you can also feel free to open up another query, see if it has information that you need, and edit it to make your own query. It's very simple to use, and it's great for beginners to utilize the query generator in standard SAP. Keep in mind that if you're at all concerned with the query that you're entering or using in the system, should always be tested first in the test database. This will allow you to make changes, add, and delete queries within the system without affecting anything in your live or production database. Now that we've learned a little bit about queries, I'd like to let you know that in one of our future webinars, we'll be getting into a little bit more complex detail in how to make more complex reports and queries in standard SAP. However, if before then you have any questions or concerns, or you just can't seem to make your query manager work for what you need, please reach out to us here at VistaVu Solutions or your partner of record with SAP, and we'll be glad to assist. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great day.